just putting it together. It's all shot in so many pieces. So one of my favorite things is dissecting the scripts and making sure that the thoughts are continuous, even though it's shot out of order. It's something I do with my coaching too. Really coach them to be sure they can keep it in order. So, I don't know if the headspace particularly.
I just think that you get a job and you get a script, and whatever it calls for. I mean, I when you asked the question, I was thinking, well, I put myself in 100% into whatever it calls for, whether it be screaming or crying or being a bitch or whatever. But and then you just hope it translates.
Yeah, you hope that, because so much of what we do depends on what everyone else does. Editing, musical score, marketing. I always say that we don't write, direct, cast, produce, market, and if it's successful, the actors get all the credit. But we don't write, direct, produce, market, edit, and if it sucks, makeup and wardrobe, we get all the blame, even if we didn't have to do with that. So it truly is a team effort, because there's not you're not just doing a monologue by yourself, right? That's why I like extras and background so much. Extras and background atmosphere.
We didn't have any extras or background.
You didn't? Well, mine were all dead, but like just generally in shows, and a lot of times people will kind of poo-poo the background. I'm like, no. There's really very rarely a scene that's as strong if we don't have that happening in the background. But they hold up a film.
For me, I give credit, well, it was a perfect storm, but I give credit to Betsy Palmer, because she brought my game so far up, that I couldn't be anything but good. You know what I mean? With someone like her, I would just look at her. You talk about headspace. I don't care. I'd be eating a sandwich and she'd look at me, and the hairs would go up, because Betsy and I bonded so well when we met many years before, but Sean purposely, the director, kept us separated because he figured we would bond. And Betsy, even during rehearsals, would not. She said, "I'm not pulling any punches. We're going for it. Down and dirty, baby. And if you want to live, you better fight back." And so I tell you, I was blessed, because all the training in the world, if you have a co-star who's not working with you, you're doomed, totally doomed. And then, in the last scene, not the last scene, the canoe scene where Jason pops up and pulls Alice in the water, that I only had 2 takes on. So that's when the training kicked in, because the first take, I went out of camera range. So they had to drive me off, and we had to do it, and so they drive me off. That's when I had to block everything out. I knew how cold that water was already. I couldn't give away that this kid was coming up behind me, and so that's when I knew that all of that other training worked. So I was blessed. It was a perfect storm between the director and the music, and Harry and Tom Savini, my God, we wouldn't have had a film without him. He's the one who really made the magic happen.
With Terry Kaiser, I felt very, very close to Terry Kaiser as soon as I met him all along, and wow, is he fun to work with now too? He's amazing.
But generally speaking, you give 100%, and you do what you have to do.
120.
Yeah, exactly. It helps to be young. But then again, look at Betsy.
Because you want to.
Betsy did everything that that fight there was nothing, no stunt people. That was all us.
How old was Betsy during that fight?
I gotta say, I should look it up, but she had to have been at least in her early 50s, I think. So, good shape. She was in rotten shape. Yeah, she was so much fun too. I heard she was so much fun because I wasn't allowed to stay out late and smoke pot with the crew. It's true.
stories from the set.
Trust me when I tell you, she was the first one to announce it in the Q&A. I'm not telling any secrets here.
Right.
Betsy was down and dirty. And the funniest and wittiest. Her and Harry Manfredini would sit up here and throw barbs at each other like they'd been married for hundreds of years. Yeah.